This video is all about what I wish I knew in my 20s, and if you're in your 30s and you are feeling sad, low, or depressed, I want you to take a moment to reflect, because the 20 tips I want to share right now is going to be so useful to you. I'm currently in my 30s and I've been using these 20 tips and they have been making my life so meaningful, so purposeful, and I'm excited. It's just fun right now to me. But also, if you are about to hit your 20s or you are currently in your 20s, then you have to pay double attention, because I don't want you to make the mistake that I did. But before I talk about the 20 tips, I want you to just know that when you're in your 20s, you are living your best life, for example, and also it's a life of adventure, it's a life of investment, of exploring. So you have to pay close attention to every moment in your 20s because it matters a lot. So let's talk about the first tip, and that is stop impulsive shopping. Now, what I mean by stopping impulsive shopping, if you can avoid it or even stop it, that will definitely help you. Now, the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, before buying anything, do you really need that particular thing? Is it a need or is it a want? I'll give you this example. My mom was having a 70th birthday and I went into a shop, Moss Bros, and I first of all went there and I asked them, I need a tuxedo. They told me what was my budget and I said, okay, just tell me, it's my mom's 70th birthday. I want to look good, right? I want to look classy. So they told me the price and it was like £650, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to pay that amount. So they said, okay, but you can rent it. So I was like, how much do I to rent? And they said it's £150. I said, why not? But guess what, guys? I didn't even have to do that anymore. I just checked my wardrobe, pick up any clothes I have, and that was what it was. Who knows? Nobody cares. Another thing, again, I want you guys to know that in your 20s, you want to wear the best clothes, the best fashion. You want to even get the latest tech, for example. And I'm going to tell you something again. I'm currently using two phones. This is the iPhone 8 Plus and this is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The reason why I got this is because of now I'm into content creating and I want something just quick. It's not everywhere you actually want to use your camera that you're allowed to use it for. Most times I use my phone on the go, I film and I edit on my phone. That is the only reason why I decided to do an upgrade. This phone is useful and there is nothing wrong about this phone. So why do you actually need the latest technology? Now, for some people, it actually makes them happy. I understand. But if it's not about happiness, or maybe it's just about, you just want to have a conversation. Oh, you got the latest phone. Yeah. No, come on. It's not worth it. And I know when it's time for sales, some people just go into the shop like, oh, I just want to, especially Black Friday, let me just see what's going on. Let me just see what to buy. And you end up buying the things that you actually don't need. That is something that you need to stop, even in your 20s or let's say in your 30s. Now, the second thing I'm talking about is pay yourself first. It's so important for you to pay yourself first. Now, this is what I do. After I get my salary, I pay my tithe. The next thing I do is pay myself next. It could be 15%, it could be 10%, it could be 5%. It depends on how your mood is. But the main thing is try to pay yourself first. Now, it's like you're appreciating yourself for a job well done at the end of the month. That money you can use for savings or you can use for something else, but it becomes a habit. So the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit. And that brings us to the third tip, and that is having a credit card. I never knew about this in my 20s and I wish I knew, because right now I love traveling, but I have to now go for maybe the American Express card or the BA travel card, which gives you points and everything. But one thing about having a travel card, or one thing about having a credit card, it is builds your credit score. And in return, definitely have a good credit score that could buy you a house or something or anything. So think about that when you are in your 20s, especially when you are in 20s. So let's talk about the fourth tip, and that is trying to impress friends. Now, the lifestyle of trying to impress friends is something that when you get to a certain age, you just want people not to look down on you. So you actually go to afford things that you're not meant to afford because you just want to have that conversation. Like I said, I'm using the latest phone. Yeah, I'm using it, but deep down, you know that you're not meant to be using. So try to limit that. If possible, try to not even do that. It helps you a lot, because why impressing someone who you know definitely you don't know what their financial goal is, what their financial status is, or what even they have in their accounts. So that's something that you definitely need to work on. when you are in your 20s. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is networking. Networking is so powerful. If I knew this when I was in my 20s, wow, I knew the lengths that I would have gotten to right now. But like I said, no regrets, okay? Life is a learning process. Now, networking helps you a lot. So try to go for events, try to go for seminar. It just builds your creativity and builds you a lot to the point that you're even confident about yourself, because when you have a lot of knowledge on a particular subject area, definitely you are confident about it. So networking is so important. I can't really stress about networking. The benefit of networking, it could take you places. Now, this next tip I want to talk about is financial knowledge. Stop seeking financial knowledge from someone who don't even know jack about savings or about what money is. Now, money is so good that when you have a lot of money in your accounts, it makes you happy. But for you to be able to achieve that, you definitely need to have a little knowledge of how much you're getting, and that can also help you a lot. Now, there are apps that you can use to monitor that, or you can even start using spreadsheet or even writing it down. Okay, now at the end of the month, ask yourself, how much did you get? How much are you saving? Now, if you can't do that, why don't you try Monzo? I've been using Monzo and it has been helping me a lot. Now, Monzo will be able to create pots for you that you can save, and if you can lock that pot, you can't even withdraw that particular amount from that pot. And you can have different pots for miscellaneous expensive, you can have pot for even shopping, you can have pot for emergency, just name it. It's so easy to use and you will be glad you tried it. Now, this video is not sponsored, but these are things that I wish I knew in my 20th. And if you have been finding this video useful, why not click on that subscribe button, share this video. Let's continue to build this community about keeping it real, because I will be telling you things that has happened to me or things that a lot of people around me have been experiencing, so you don't make that particular mistake. Now, let's talk about the next tip, and that's savings. In your 20s, a lot of people may have that opportunity. Now, in my 20s, I had a lot of people who gave me, or who even like just gave me money, even for my birthday or something. And I wish I knew how to save a lot and how to invest that money. I will be so happy. Saving is key. This is what I tell people. Why do you want to smile outside when the inside is not smiling? And what I mean by that is, why are you using the most latest or the most expensive stuff, and deep down in your bank account, there is nothing to show for it? Let your bank account be smiling, and then you are smiling. Let's get to that point where when someone asks you, how much do you have? How much do you have in savings? And then you can tell the person, this is how much I have in savings. That gives you edge to have more conversation than when there's nothing to show for. The next thing I want to talk about is subletting. Now, I'm not advising you because I'm not the expert on this area, but first of all, make sure that whatsoever you are subletting, you are allowed to do that according to the law. Most landlords may not agree for subletting, but make sure you go through the normal process, because when you have one room spare and there's nobody and there's nothing there, why don't you sublet it to someone? Now, even if you tell the landlord about it and he gives you the permission, maybe he may increase your rent or something just to a certain percentage, while the other person even now pays you a lot. So you find out that you are even getting some commission even from your rent. The next tip I want to talk about is the circle of friends you keep. This is what I tell people. 20 friends can play in 20 places for 20 years. So try to limit the number of friends you have, because you are the average of the number of friends you keep. Now, if your friends are not impacting you, if your friends are not taking you to that destination, if your friends are not pushing you or motivating you, then why are they? If you can't even rely on them or they are not accountable for you, then why are you keeping them as friends? I've had a lot of friends that I just had to let go, because when I share knowledge with them, it's either they're giving me a negative vibe and I'm not getting that positive feedback that I need to get from them. Then what's the point? Sometimes where I want to rely on them and they are not there, because I know a lot of people can be busy, but if they are not busy genuinely and the only thing that they care about is let's go for club, let's go for party, I'm like, no, this is not what I want to do in my 20s. This is not what I should be doing in my 30s. I need friends that will be able to motivate me. And I remember when I was preparing for my dissertation back then, I had this friend who I would say, you know what, let me just sleep for like 20 minutes. Or just give me that rest. And yeah, I would wake up 20 minutes, I'm going to read, we're going to go back and front, trying to like understand, oh, this is the passage I read, try to break it down. That's the kind of friends you should be keeping in your 20s. Friends that will take you to your destination, friends that will make you happy, friends that will impact you, friends that will motivate you, friends that will make you smile, friends that can even correct you or even challenge you positively. Those are the friends that you should be keeping in your 20s and also in your 30s. Now, let's talk about the next tip, and that is your health is so important. Now, health is wealth. This is what I say, health is wealth. Now, you are what you eat, so why don't you try to take that exercise? Even if it's a walk, even if it's a cardio, if it's just something that will just make you, at least you stretch, that's something. Now, this is something that I actually started doing recently. Is before I go to bed, I actually have like 10 or 15 minutes of stretch, and I enjoy my sleep after stretching. Like, I never knew about this, like trying to stretch before sleeping. No way. It is so meaningful to the body. Try to stretch. And also, I know in your 20s you have that energy, you want to go all in the gym, but try to do that with an expert. Don't go there and have back pain when you are now in your 30s, or don't carry a lot of weight that there's no one to supervise you or tell you what to do, and in your 30s you start having a lot of body pain and everything. So try not to do that. Now, the next tip is habit. I'm going to say this, okay? For you to be able to like overcome a certain habit, you need another habit to replace that. And what I mean is, if you try to, or let's say you're smoking or you're drinking, I'm not judging anyone, okay? I've been there, I've done it. But what I've come to realize is that pack of cigarettes I actually was spending daily, I would have used it for something else. I would have been putting it into maybe an account, or even putting it in a piggy bank, or even like a bottle with a lid and something. Like, let's keep it real, guys. If you can save that pack of cigarettes, anytime they call you for, oh, let's go drinking, and you say no. If you can be meaningful and save that amount of money, by now I'm very sure that when you look at your account, you'll be like, whew, I made it. There's something there in your account. Now, why I'm focusing on that is, at the end of the month, you should be able to look back and say, okay, this is what I get after working, after doing 9 to 5, after breaking your bank, after going to that job that maybe you don't like, for example. Try to always have that in your mind whenever you are doing a job. Now, the next tip I want to talk about is social media. A lot of people say, oh, social media is negative, but for me, I use it for the right platform. This is what I do now. Before going to sleep, you can find me on Instagram for like half an hour, 45 minutes. I just go there, watch a couple of stuff that actually make me laugh, or be able to like relax myself. That's the only time I jump on Instagram, just to sleep. Now, when I'm coming back from work, I'm spending more time on YouTube trying to check on other content creator who's going to be adding value to me, or let's say maybe on ChatGPT, just asking some questions, and it's actually has helped me a lot. So social media is not something that you just want to say, oh no, it's total wrong or it's total bad. No, it's the usage that is the issue. So try to be real with yourself. And also, I find that a lot of people go to social media for advice. Like, who does that? Why don't you go for an expert that you have that one-on-one physical relationship with, that you know that will definitely help you, not random people that you don't even know what they actually do behind closed doors. So try to keep it real with yourself when you're in your 20s. Just be real with yourself. Always tell yourself, is this a right thing? Is this a want? Is this a need? Is this a desire? I need to always like pull back to reflect. Always try to like pull yourself back to reflect. And the next tip I want to talk about is explore. In your 20s, you want to explore. Go ahead. Because you're going to be faced with pressure. You're going to be faced with pressure from your parents, pressure from friends, pressure from society. But when you don't explore to be able to like withstand whatever they throw at you, then you're going to start having issues. So in your 20s, try to explore. Try to be able to like keep yourself happy. Now, keep yourself happy in a positive and in a meaningful way, not in a negative way. And I'm going to tell you how you can do that. And that's the next tip on what is your power bank. All right. Now, I'm not talking about power bank for the phone or something, but what's your power bank? Like, what gives you that energy? What makes you feel a little bit inspired? Where do you get your inspiration from? Where do you get your idea from? Is it from a mentor? Is it from maybe when you watch a movie? Is it from when maybe you had a conversation with someone? You need to be able to identify where you get that resource from, where you get that energy from, so that you can be able to like use it for something meaningful. For myself, actually, I have a mentor, so go get a mentor if you can afford it. If you need therapy, why not? Go for it. There's no shame in that. If you actually need someone who you can be accountable for, why not? Just pick someone that you have a conversation with, because this is what I always say. Now, any problem shared is halfway solved. So if you have maybe like, for myself, I have 3 content creators that we talk regularly on a particular niche or a particular issue. At the end of the week, guess what, guys? We have a solution towards that, because we talk about it, we do research about it. So there must be something that the outcome will be better. So try to have that, because if you have an inspiration from something and you know that is where you get it from, then you're going to treasure that thing for the rest of your life. Or where I actually get my final inspiration from is when I'm taking a shower. I don't know why that happens to me. Like, I could chat with a lot of people, read books, do everything that I want to do, but when I have that moment taking a shower, I just get this spark, I just get this idea, and I'm actually happy. You have to be able to cultivate that habit of listening to yourself, listening to others. Don't just have that mindset of I know everything all. Don't have that mindset of I'm bold, I'm proud, I'm arrogant. No, just try to calm yourself down to be able to like you listen to a lot of people, because one thing about listening is when you get positive feedbacks or even when you get negative feedback, you are able to identify which one you actually need to do or which one you actually don't need to do. So try to develop yourself to be able to listen very well. Like, if you can listen a lot, then I'm very sure that you have more creative thinking. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is try to increase your knowledge. Now, a lot of people find different ways to increase your knowledge. I actually find reading books, audiobooks. It depends on the environment you have. You could just put in your stuff there and start listening to audiobooks. Or let's say you want to relax, for example, you could just start playing games. I play games a lot, but not funny games, okay? I actually play games that would make me think what's the next step for me to do, and that actually has increased my level of creativity. The next one I'll talk about is very important, so pay attention, okay? Is leave your comfort zone. Most times we feel too comfortable in a particular job that we know that we can get another job that will be better than that. So ask yourself, why are you still in this situation? If you find yourself in a situation for 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, and you haven't left, then you need to ask yourself why. Why are you still there? Because that place has made you so comfortable, and then you feel you can't do anything better. But guess what, guys? You can. Okay? I left my comfort zone a lot. I left my country. I'm in the UK and I'm doing well. If I hadn't left, I don't know what's going to happen to me. But the main thing is that you have to leave. But first of all, identify which area you feel so comfortable in that you are struggling. Once you can identify that, then I'm very sure that you're going to be able to like leave your comfort zone whenever. So when you feel too comfortable, when you feel like you can't do it, just try to step up, okay? Try to step up. The next one is take risks. Risks is important because I know a lot of people feel like, oh, you know what? I just can't, but take good ones, okay? Take good ones that you are knowledgeable about. Don't just take the ones that you know, oh, why did I do this? Why? You have a lot of regrets and you'll be like, no way, no way. But no, it's so important that you have to consider your next step, okay? And the last tip I want to share, before I give you the bonus tip, because I promise I'm going to give you that bonus tip, which it will change your life drastically, is stop seeking validation from people. Stop seeking approval from people. You are the captain of your ship, all right? So the way my mom always said is, the way you lay your bed is the way rely on it. So try to cultivate different habits that work for you, positive ones. Try to have people around you that will definitely motivate you, and getting validation from someone who does not even know Jack, or someone who does not even have a clue of where you are going to, it's pointless. There is no need, okay? There is no need for that, because a lot of people would want to give you advice, but it's not all the advice you should take. You should be able to think, and that's why I said before, you have to listen. Now, the last tip I want to share with you is try not to believe the statement. In fact, do not believe the statement that says experience is the best teacher. There is no need for you to say, okay, you know what, let me just give it a try. I know we have that energy, okay, when we are in our 20s, but I want you to understand that if someone has done it and has made mistake, why should you do it and make mistake? There is no way. It's pointless. It doesn't make sense. All right, if someone has made 100K, for example, I should be asking that person, how did you make that particular amount? Not someone who hasn't made 100K before and is telling me how to make 100K. So try not to have that experience and regret it, so you can be able to learn from their mistakes. And also, I'm going to end this video by saying, try to live your best in your 20s. Have fun. Don't feel down. Don't have any regrets. But one thing I know is you are the captain of your ship. You are the captain of your life. But remember, it is just the way you lay your bed, that's the way you lie on it. And if you have been finding this video useful, I want you to leave me which of the tips I have said that you resonate with. And let's talk about it. Let's build. Let's keep it real. Tell me which area you are actually struggling with, and let's have that chat. Okay? I see you in the next video, and bye.